Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to talk about 40 knots from the house of Xerjoff. Now, one of my loyal subscribers asked me about this fragrance if I had done a review on it, and I think way back when I first started my channel I did do a review, probably not the best one as I just started reviewing. But I've worn it a little bit more since then, and I've definitely got a great read on it. And I said to him that I will do an update review for him because he is interested in purchasing this fragrance. And I'm just going to explain it quickly and so you understand how this fragrance works. But I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, there is no way on this God's green earth that this is a full-on summer fragrance. I am not having it. Whoever tells you that is lying, because there's more than just freshness to this fragrance, and we're going to get into it. Stay tuned. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne, and I want to thank everybody today for tuning in. That is right, if you're watching this review is for you, my friend. I appreciate all your loyalty and all the comments that you drop down. I always say, if I've got a fragrance and you want me to review it, I will review it again. It doesn't bother me. If I can help somebody out in explaining a fragrance, I'm more than happy to do so. That is why I created this channel. This channel isn't for me. This channel is for you lot who are watching this, who are following me. I want to put you onto good fragrances, and if a fragrance isn't good, I'm going to tell you the truth. And if it is good or I think it's great, I'm going to tell you. And I know everybody has different tastes, hence why I try and explain a fragrance as best as possible. But before I get going, if you do enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button. It is completely free, and press the bell because it will notify you when I drop a review at a later date. That is right. Let's dive straight into 40 knots from the house of Xerjoff. I've put it back in its box, so to whom asked about 40 knots can see the presentation, and then, or to everyone that can see the presentation, and then I'll get into the fragrance. This is a 100ml bottle, and it is a de parfum concentration. So you have a beautiful faux leather, maybe it's real leather, I don't know, box, but it's beautiful presentation. Xerjoff have some of the best looking bottles in the game. There is no doubt about it. And their attention to detail, when you open it up, look, it just looks stunning. And then we'll take that out, and that is where your bottle sits. And then you flap that back over. Right, that is the box. Now the bottle. Stunning. You've got the name of the house around the bottom of the cap. The cap does click into place like so you can pick it up, but I still wouldn't, just in case. Weighty metal cap. Nice atomizer. Yeah, this is good. This is a really nice scent, and you've got the X at the top of the atomizer. Right, the notes for this fragrance are a little bit all over the place. You've got sea breeze, you've got woodsy notes, one note breakdown saying honey, another note breakdown saying it has green notes in it. I'm just going to tell you what I get. This does open up fresh, a little bit aquatic, and a touch salty up top. But with this, it has a powdery quality. Now, that might put some people off. The way that aquatic tone of the fragrance comes through with a powdery touch, some people might think, that don't go right, or that don't sit well on me. But give it a few minutes for it to cool down, or give it a few minutes for it to calm down. But with this, I do get a spice, like this aniseed smell. So I don't know if this has star anise in it, or something along them lines, but there's definitely a spicy quality to this fragrance. Now, as this starts to settle in, a woodsy undertone comes through. This fragrance does give off marine vibes, especially in the opening. But now, as this starts to settle in and the woods come through, that is when the fragrance slowly starts to warm up. And once this heads or gets into the base, it does a complete 180, because from the mid to the dry down, that is when you get this ambery quality come through or start to come through. And the more this sits on skin, that salty facet fizzles out, the woods amp up a little bit. You do get this green herbal undertone that comes through. The woods come through first, the green herbal tone comes in after the woods, then you get that ambery quality come through, which starts to warm the fragrance up. And when this sits in the base, the fragrance sits warm, and I do get an ever so slight or a little bit of a honeyed sweetness to the fragrance, along with that ambery quality, along with the woods. By now, that powdery side fizzles out. Once it does get into the mid, that powdery quality, it does calm down. And I wouldn't say this is an over powdery fragrance, because to my nose, it isn't. But the way that powder comes across with that marine, aquatic, salty aroma in the fragrance, some people might find that a little bit, I wouldn't say challenging, but a little bit unusual at first. But let it calm down, and that is when the magic happens. At first, when you smell this, you'll think, yeah, this is a bright fragrance. It's got a nice little bit of freshness to it up top, and it does have. But the longer this sits, the more it warms up. And once you've worn this fragrance a couple of times, you will even think to yourself, there is no way that I can wear 40 knots in the dead of summer. It won't work. This fragrance is inspired by a yacht club. It's from the Join the Club collection, and each fragrance has a different meaning, or it's inspired by something. And this is inspired by a yacht club, hence the name 40 knots. So that is out at sea. But I'm telling you, if you're rocking this on a hot day down by the beach or wherever you are, and it's a hot day and you're a little bit sticky and sweaty, this is going to be too much. It's going to sit too heavy. At first, it has a little bit of an airy nature to it, but the longer this sits, when that ambery tone or that ambery aroma comes through, the fragrance really starts to thicken and it gets a little bit dense, along with that woodsy undertone. And the green herbal quality to this fragrance, when it comes through, it does stay into the dry down, then that slowly fizzles out. And that is when I get that little bit of a honeyed sweetness to the fragrance. So overall, this is not a full-on summer fragrance. To me, this is an all year round fragrance, but I wouldn't wear it on hot days. I really wouldn't. It has the longevity and the power to go through winter. It'd be decent in spring, early summer. If it's summer and it's a cooler night and you're eating out and it's breezy, that'd be fine, because that breeze is going to keep you cool and you're out in the open. But I wouldn't wear this on a blistering hot day. No way. I don't care what anybody says. I've had this fragrance for a while now. If someone tells you this is a full-on aquatic fragrance, they do not know what they are talking about. It is as simple as that. I know everybody's noses are different, but there's no way you can miss that ambery, honeyed sweetness in this fragrance. I ain't having it. But anyway, where to wear it? Dinner dates, gatherings, parties, somewhere where you're going to meet up with a few people. If you're going out with the family and you want to smell, you want to be noticed, this will get you noticed. It is an unusual fragrance, but in a good way. But yeah, so longevity, 8 hours. Sometimes I've had 9 out of it. By the 6 to 7 hour mark, it's a skin scent, and it sits like that for another hour or two. On clothes, it does last another couple of days, or it does last a couple of days, I should say, until you wash your garments. So if you do want it to last longer than 8 or 9 hours, which to me that's long enough as it is, just spray your collar of your jumper or your shirt or your t-shirt, whatever you're wearing. You can rock this in a white t-shirt, there's no doubt about it. But again, I'm going to say it, this is not a full-on summer fragrance. Hell no. But anyway, that is my full review on Xerjoff 40 knots. I hope I explained that to where you can understand what I'm saying, because sometimes I go back and forth a little bit and I think I've done it there, but I did get to the end of it. It's a great scent, there's no doubt about it, but don't roll into this thinking that you're just going to get a full out freshie, because it isn't. You're going to be surprised. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you have tried 40 knots. What do you think about it? How does it act on your skin? And I know everybody's skin's different, but that is how it acts on mine, how I've explained it. Right, I appreciate everybody's support, and remember, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore, and I will definitely see you lot on the next one. Cheers.